Seoul never slept, but tonight it bled. The neon lights of Gangnam flickered against rain-slick streets as chaos tore through an abandoned warehouse. Tires screeched, and Kang Ji-hoon, heir to Korea's most feared Mafia syndicate, staggered out of the smoke, hand pressed against his side. Blood seeped between his fingers. He had always played with danger, but tonight danger had finally played back. "Boss!" Mr. Hune, his stone-faced bodyguard, rushed forward, catching him before he collapsed. Sirens wailed in the distance. The police would not arrive in time, but the enemy would. Ji-hoon's voice rasped, sharp with pain but laced with pride. "No hospitals. You know the rule." Mr. Hune hesitated. "Then where?" "The doctor," Ji-hoon muttered before darkness swallowed him whole. Dr. Amara Okafor was not in the mood for gangsters. Her small private clinic in Itaewon was spotless. White walls, faint scent of antiseptic, and a half-finished mug of hibiscus tea on her desk. She had come to Seoul for a prestigious fellowship, but one reckless favor to a powerful Korean family had tied her to a contract she couldn't wiggle out of. And that contract came crashing through her doors at midnight. The double doors slammed open. Mr. Hune, all 6'3" of intimidation, carried Ji-hoon in like a broken prince. His white shirt was soaked scarlet, tattoos peeking beneath torn fabric. "Doctor," Hune barked. "He needs you." Amara nearly spilled her tea. "What in the name of Lagos traffic is this? He's bleeding all over my floor." She grabbed gloves, snapping them on with irritation. Her voice was sharp, but her hands were steady. "Put him here." As Hune lowered Ji-hoon onto the examination bed, Amara muttered under her breath, "I signed up for medicine, not Mafia first aid." Ji-hoon stirred, groaning. His lashes fluttered open, and even half-dead he had the audacity to smirk. "Didn't know angels came in brown skin and lab coats." Amara froze, scalpel in hand, then rolled her eyes. "Didn't know devils needed saving." Hune coughed awkwardly. "Doctor, please. Please. You dragged in a bullet magnet at midnight." "Fine." She leaned over Ji-hoon, inspecting the wound. "You, gangster prince, will shut up, stay still, and not die on my table." Ji-hoon's lips curved faintly. "Bossy. I like it. Welcome to Munlyt Stories, where Moonlight meets myth. Love timeless tales? Then hit like, subscribe. We would like to know where you are watching from in the comment, and please join the circle. Every story begins with you." "Good. Because I don't care." She injected anesthetic, ignoring his hiss. "And if you so much as flirt while I'm digging out this bullet, I'll let you bleed out for the streets to adopt." For the next hour, rain pounded against the windows while Amara worked. Her focus never wavered, clamping vessels, extracting the bullet, stitching with precision. Ji-hoon, stubborn even under sedation, murmured nonsense about loyalty, revenge, and how the doctor's hands felt too soft for war. Finally, she pulled off her gloves with a snap. "Done. He'll live." Unfortunately, Hune exhaled relief. Ji-hoon, barely conscious, gave a lazy grin. "Told you, Hune angels." Amara glared at him. "If you ever call me that again, I'll inject you with malaria." Outside, thunder cracked. Inside, a battle line had been drawn. The devil had been saved, and the doctor's peace was officially over. Ji-hoon woke to the smell of antiseptic and the faint hum of fluorescent lights. His body ached, stitched neatly across his side. But worse than the pain was the face hovering over him, stern, unimpressed, and armed with a clipboard. "Good morning, Mafia Prince," Dr. Amara said, her Nigerian accent sharpening each syllable. "Congratulations, you didn't die. Don't make it a habit." Ji-hoon blinked, then smirked. "Still bossy, I see. Did you watch over me all night?" Amara scoffed, jutting notes. "Please. I went home, showered, and prayed for patience. It's a miracle I'm back at all." "Touched," he murmured. "My angel." Her glare cut him off. "Try that again, and I'll replace your 4 with pepper soup." Mr. Hune, standing guard in the corner, coughed into his fist to hide a laugh. Ji-hoon shot him a look that promised punishment later. Amara tapped her pen against the clipboard. "Here's the deal, Mr. Kang. You need rest, antibiotics, and absolutely no Mafia nonsense. That means no running around Seoul playing gangland gladiator." Ji-hoon stretched, ignoring the pull on his stitches. "Impossible. My people need me." Her eyes narrowed. "Your people don't need a corpse. You move too soon. The wound will tear open. Then it's bye-bye heir. Hello Mafia civil war. Do you want that? Ji-hoon hated how logical she sounded. He hated even more that her eyes, dark, steady, unflinching, saw right through him. Doctor, he drawled, forcing a lazy grin. You're worried about me. She snorted. I'm worried about wasting good thread. For a moment, silence stretched between them. Then Amara set the clipboard down with finality. Since you clearly don't respect your life, I'll be moving into the Kong estate to make sure you behave. Ji-hoon choked. You what? You heard me. She began gathering her equipment. You need constant monitoring. And I don't trust you to stay still. You'll have to endure my company until you're healed. His smirk faltered. Living with me? You'll fall in love within a week. Amara paused at the door, giving him a look so dry it could set fire to the Sahara. If I fall, it'll be from second-hand embarrassment. Han's shoulders shook with suppressed laughter. Ji-hoon groaned. Later that evening, the black Kong limousine pulled up to Amara's modest apartment. Tosin, her younger sister, bounded out, suitcase in hand. Seoul mansion? Rich people food? Yeni, take me with you. Amara sighed. Tosin, this isn't a vacation. It's babysitting a spoiled gangster. Tosin's grin widened. Even better. Ji-hoon, lounging in the car despite his stitches, raised a brow. She can come. Less boring that way. Amara pinched the bridge of her nose. Lord, give me strength. Ji-hoon leaned back, satisfied. Looks like the devil and the doctor are moving in together. Outside, Seoul glittered. Inside the limousine, the war of wills had only just begun. The Kong estate rose like a fortress in the heart of Seoul, gates of black iron, fountains that glittered under moonlight, and enough marble to shame a palace. Tosin pressed her face against the limousine window. Yuni, look. It's like K-drama heaven. I swear if I don't see a chandelier bigger than our apartment, I'm suing. Amara groaned. Behave. We're here for work, not tourism. Ji-hoon smirked, watching the sisters bicker. I don't mind a little tourism. My house is a national treasure. National headache, Amara muttered. The limousine pulled into the grand driveway. Servants lined up, bowing as Ji-hoon exited with careless grace. He looked every inch the Mafia heir. Sharp jawline, dark suit, swagger intact despite the stitches tugging at his side. Amara followed, lugging her medical bag, her white coat fluttering like a flag of rebellion. Tosin skipped behind, already filming the fountain on her phone. Inside, the mansion glowed with gold accents and velvet furniture. A chandelier the size of Lagos traffic lights hung overhead. Tosin gasped dramatically. Yuni, adopt me into this family, please. Ji-hoon smirked. She has taste. Amara shot him a glare. Don't encourage her. The room assigned to Amara was spacious, bigger than her whole clinic. A four-poster bed draped in silk, floor-to-ceiling windows with a city view, and a walk-in closet that could fit Tosin's entire wardrobe. Tosin twirled in the middle of the room. I'm never leaving. You're leaving as soon as I kick you out, Amara snapped, though her eyes softened at her sister's joy. A knock sounded. Ji-hoon leaned casually against the doorframe, one hand on his bandaged side. Comfortable, doctor? Amara crossed her arms. Too comfortable. It feels like a trap. He chuckled. Maybe it is. You'll be surrounded by temptation, me. Temptation, she echoed. You. Please. Even mosquitoes are more appealing. Tosin snorted, so loudly she nearly fell on the bed. Ji-hoon narrowed his eyes, wounded pride flashing. I should remind you, he said smoothly, that this devil you despise is your patient, which means you'll have to see me every day. Up close. Personal. Amara stepped closer, glaring up at him. Which means you'll follow my orders. No smoking. No alcohol. No sneaking out. One wrong move, and I'll sedate you until kingdom come. For a moment, the air between them crackled, her defiance against his arrogance, her stubbornness matching his ego. Then Ji-hoon grinned, slow and dangerous. You're fun when you're angry. Amara muttered, You'll be dead when I'm angry. That night, chaos began. Amara caught Ji-hoon trying to bribe Tosin into sneaking him a glass of whiskey. She stormed into his lounge, confiscated the bottle, and poured it straight into a potted plant. Ji-hoon gasped like she'd murdered a friend. That bottle was older than you. Good. Amara said sweetly. It lived long enough. Tosin laughed so hard she nearly dropped her phone. Hune, clutching his wounded pride, muttered, "This is war." Amara smirked. War? Oh no, this is medicine. And so, under the glittering chandeliers of the Kong mansion, the battle lines sharpened, doctor versus heir, scalpel versus ego. Only one question remained: who would surrender first? Morning in the Kong mansion was less peaceful than Amara expected. She woke to the sound of Tosin's laughter echoing down the hall, followed by Jihoon's irritated growl. Dragging her medical bag, Amara marched into the lounge and froze. There sat Jihoon, shirtless, stitches glinting under fresh bandages. He leaned back on the leather couch like he owned the world. Technically, he did, and grimaced at the steaming cup Tosin had placed before him. "What's this?" he demanded. "Herbal tea," Tosin said brightly. "Hune says it's good for healing." Amara crossed her arms. "Not just herbal tea. Bitter leaf extract." Jihoon's face twisted in suspicion. "That sounds like poison." "Correct," Amara said sweetly. "Poison for your ego." Tosin burst out laughing. Jihoon glared but reluctantly took a sip. His reaction was instant. He gagged, coughing dramatically, eyes watering. "You're trying to kill me," he choked. "You're still alive," Amara said calmly, flipping through her notes. "Unfortunately," Jihoon slammed the cup down, scowling. "I'd rather take a bullet again than drink this Nigerian witch brew." Amara leaned in, her gaze sharp. "Fine. Take another bullet. But don't come crying to me when your stitch is split. I'll be too busy enjoying my tea." Their eyes locked, hers daring, his defiant. For a heartbeat, the air thickened, charged with something neither of them wanted to admit. Tosin, oblivious, clapped her hands. "Hune, you should have been a comedian." Jihoon looked away first, muttering, "You're insufferable." "And you're impossible," Amara shot back. Later that day, Amara made her routine check. Jihoon sat by the balcony, the Seoul skyline stretching behind him. For once, he wasn't smirking. He looked thoughtful. "You're healing well," Amara said, kneeling to change his bandages. He tilted his head, watching her. "You're not afraid of me." "Should I be?" she asked without looking up. "Everyone else is." His voice was quieter than usual, stripped of arrogance. "But you walk in, insult me, boss me around like I'm just a man with bad manners." Amara tightened the bandage a little too firmly. "That's because you are. And if I start seeing you as some untouchable Mafia prince, I'll stop seeing the patient. And you'll die. Simple." Jihoon chuckled, though there was no humor in it. "You're dangerous, doctor. More dangerous than bullets." For a second, her hands faltered. She looked up, and their eyes locked again, closer than either intended. The city lights reflected in his dark gaze. Her breath caught. Then Tosin barged in with a tray of fruit. "Sis, look I made." "Oh, am I interrupting?" Both jerked apart instantly. Amara cleared her throat. "Yes, Tosin." "Leave." Jihoon smirked, recovering fast. "Don't chase her away. She's smarter company than you." "Good," Amara said, snatching the fruit. "Enjoy her company while you're still breathing." That night, as Amara lay awake in her luxurious bed, she replayed the balcony moment in her head. His words, his gaze, the way her chest tightened. Danger, she reminded herself. He's danger. But her heart whispered back, danger never looked this tempting. Amara didn't expect the Kong estate to host visitors so early, but by mid-morning the front hall buzzed. A tall man in a crisp navy suit arrived, carrying a bouquet of lilies. His smile was easy, polished, the kind that belonged in glossy magazines. "Dr. Okafor?" he asked, bowing slightly. "I'm Dr. Daniel Park, Cardiology Department. I heard about your work in Itaewon. I had to meet the woman bold enough to tame the Kong heir." Amara blinked, caught off guard. "Oh, well, I don't know about taming anyone, but thank you." Daniel's gaze softened. "Still, your reputation is impressive. I'd love to hear more over coffee." A sharp voice sliced through the air. "She doesn't drink coffee." Both turned. Jihoon leaned against the banister, one hand on the railing, stitches peeking under his open collar shirt. His eyes were narrowed, his tone icy. Amara raised an eyebrow. "Excuse me." Jihoon descended the stairs slowly, each step deliberate. Dr. Amara prefers hibiscus tea, and she doesn't go out with strangers. Daniel chuckled politely. I'm hardly a stranger. I'm a colleague. He offered the bouquet. A doctor deserves flowers now and then. Before Amara could reply, Hune snatched the lilies and tossed them onto a side table. She's allergic. Amara gaped. What? No, I'm not. Daniel's smile wavered. Hune stepped closer to Amara, his presence overwhelming, his voice dropping low. Better safe than sorry. Amara shoved him back. Better rude than ridiculous, apparently. What is wrong with you? Wrong with me? Hune hissed. You're my doctor. You're supposed to be monitoring me, not entertaining. He cut himself short, jaw tight. Amara's eyes flashed. Not entertaining what? A kind man who respects boundaries. Daniel cleared his throat, clearly sensing the tension. Perhaps another time, Dr. Okafor. He bowed again and excused himself, leaving the atmosphere charged. As soon as the door shut, Amara rounded on Hune. What was that circus? You embarrassed me. Hune paced, restless. He was looking at you like you were his. Her lips parted. And that's a problem because... He froze. His pride screamed to shut up, but the words slipped anyway. Because you're mine. Silence. Amara stared at him, heart thundering, then let out a sharp laugh. Yours. Hune, the anesthesia must have fried your brain. I don't belong to you or anyone. Jihoon's jaw clenched, but before he could reply, Tosin's voice floated from upstairs. Yini, your Mafia boyfriend is jealous again. Amara buried her face in her hands. Jihoon muttered curses in Korean, shooting Tosin a murderous glare. Later, alone in his study, Jihoon nursed his pride as much as his wound. He hated the way Daniel had looked at her, hated more that Amara's smile had been softer with him than it ever was with Jihoon. He didn't believe in love. He didn't believe in doctors, saving devils. But he believed one thing now. He couldn't stand the thought of anyone else owning Amara's laughter. The morning after Daniel's visit, Amara entered Jihoon's room with her clipboard ready, bracing herself for another round of Mafia arrogance. She wasn't prepared for what she found. Jihoon lay sprawled across his massive bed, one arm over his eyes like a tragic movie star. A silver tray sat on his nightstand, piled high with wine, cigarettes, even spicy tteokbokki steaming in a bowl. Amara's jaw dropped. What in the name of malpractice is this? Jihoon peeked at her with a lazy grin. Breakfast. Breakfast? You're on antibiotics. Alcohol is banned. Smoking is banned. Spicy food is banned. He took a dramatic bite of tteokbokki, hissing at the spice but refusing to show weakness. Tastes like freedom. Amara snatched the bowl away. Tastes like stupidity. Jihoon groaned theatrically. Dr. Amara, you're cruel. No man should suffer like this. You were shot, not starved, she snapped. Do you want your intestines to dissolve? Tosin poked her head in, phone in hand, recording. Yini, let him eat. He looks like a K-drama hero in pain. Jihoon straightened instantly, posing with his bandaged side. Exactly. Suffering makes me more handsome. Amara rolled her eyes. Suffering makes you more insufferable. Determined to prove her point, Amara set up a strict routine. Pills at 8, checkups at noon, rest at 10. Jihoon, of course, rebelled at every turn. He hid his medication under the couch cushions. He accidentally spilled tea on his bandages, so she'd have to change them. At one point, she caught him lifting weights with his stitches straining. Put that down, she barked. He grinned through the pain. Can't. My muscles miss me. Your muscles will miss oxygen when you rupture your lung. The final straw came when Amara entered the library to find him on the floor, groaning. Her heart leapt. Panic shot through her. She dropped to her knees. Thank you so much for staying with us till this very point in the story. If you're enjoying it, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and leave a comment. We would like to know where you are watching from below. We'd also love to hear the lessons you learned from this story and your thoughts on how we can keep improving to bring you the very best. Jihoon, are you bleeding? Are the stitches? He cracked one eye open, smirk tugging his lips. No, just bored. Amara froze, then smacked his shoulder so hard he yelped. You nearly gave me a heart attack. He winced but laughed, holding his side. Ah, so you do care. Care, she sputtered. I care about not having to sign your death certificate, you reckless idiot. Their faces ended up inches apart. Ji-hoon's grin softened, something unreadable flickering in his gaze. You worry like a wife. Amara's heart skipped, but she recovered fast, shoving him back. You test my patience like a toddler. That night, as Amara wrote notes in her room, Tosin burst in giggling. Yuni, he's impossible, but you're smiling. Amara touched her lips, startled. She was smiling. Despite the chaos, the arguments, the infuriating games, Ji-hoon made her laugh. And laughter, she realized, was far more dangerous than bullets. For 2 weeks, the Kong mansion had been more comedy stage than crime den. Between Amara's medical orders, Ji-hoon's antics, and Tosin's constant meddling, the atmosphere almost felt normal. But normal never lasted in Ji-hoon's world. It happened on a quiet evening. Amara was in the garden, trimming herbs she'd insisted on planting for proper Nigerian medicine. Tosin filmed a goofy vlog about mansion life, twirling between rose bushes. Ji-hoon lounged nearby, pretending to read a book but mostly watching Amara scold the gardener for overwatering. Then the shot rang out. The vase beside Amara exploded into shards. She froze, dust and petals scattering across her coat. Tosin screamed, ducking behind a pillar. Ji-hoon was on his feet instantly, pulling Amara down with him, his body covering hers. Go down! Han's voice thundered from the rooftop. Chaos erupted, guards fanning out, radios crackling, shouts in Korean slicing through the night. Ji-hoon tightened his grip around Amara's shoulders. His heartbeat pounded against her ear, steady but sharp. You okay? He asked, voice low, urgent. She stared at the shattered vase, her breath trembling. That bullet was meant for me. No, Ji-hoon growled, scanning the perimeter. It was meant for me. You were just too close. But the message was clear. Someone wanted to remind Ji-hoon that even his precious doctor wasn't safe. Inside, the mansion buzzed with tension. Amara sat rigid on the couch, refusing to let her hands shake. Tosin clung to her side, eyes wide. Han bowed before Ji-hoon. The sniper escaped before we could pin location. But this is the second attempt in 2 months. It's the Hanseong's syndicate again. Ji-hoon's jaw tightened. They are bold, coming this close. Amara cut in sharply. They nearly killed me. Ji-hoon turned, guilt flickering in his eyes. I won't let that happen. Won't let. She stood, fury breaking through her fear. I'm not part of your Mafia games. I'm a doctor. I save lives. And because of you, mine is now on the line. Tosin tugged her sleeve, whispering Yuni. Ji-hoon rose too, closing the distance between them. You saved me. That makes you part of this, whether you like it or not. Amara's voice trembled, but she held his gaze. I didn't sign up to die in your war. He leaned in, his face inches from hers, eyes burning with something raw. Then don't die. Stay close to me and I'll protect you. The room fell silent. Even Tosin seemed to hold her breath. Amara finally pulled back, crossing her arms. Protection from you is like fire protecting paper. Sooner or later, I'll still burn. Ji-hoon's lips twitched, half a smile, half regret. Then maybe I'll just have to learn how to keep fire gentle. That night, Amara lay awake, Tosin snoring softly beside her. She replayed the bullets shatter, Ji-hoon's weight shielding her, his voice promising safety. He was dangerous. He was reckless. But for the first time, she realized something terrifying. Part of her wanted to believe him. The morning after the sniper incident, Amara expected Ji-hoon to dismiss it with his usual arrogance. Instead, he barged into the guest wing, Han trailing behind him, and declared war, not on rival gangs, but on her independence. You're moving into my room, he announced flatly. Amara looked up from her stethoscope, stunned. Excuse me. You heard me. If you're in my line of sight, I can protect you. No more wandering gardens, no late-night herbal adventures. You stay where I can see you. 24/7. Her eyes narrowed. I'm your doctor, not your pet. Ji-hoon smirked. A doctor who almost got shot. You think I'm letting you stroll around with a target on your back. Tosin, perched on the bed eating grapes, gasped dramatically. Roommates. Yuni, this is basically a K-drama plot. Amara shot her a glare. You're not helping. Ji-hoon stepped closer, lowering his voice. Doctor, you stitch me back together. I won't let anyone tear you apart. End of discussion. And so, against her protests, Amara found herself sharing a suite with Korea's most arrogant heir. The room was spacious, with sleek black walls, a king-size bed, and a balcony overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline. A folding screen was hastily added for privacy, though Amara doubted Ji-hoon had ever respected boundaries in his life. On the first night, Amara laid out her bedding on the couch. Ji-hoon raised an eyebrow. "You'll cramp your back." "Better my back than my dignity," she snapped. He chuckled, settling into bed. "Suit yourself, but don't scream my name at midnight when you get neck pain." "Trust me," she muttered, fluffing her pillow. "Screaming your name is the last thing I'd ever do." Living side by side was chaos. In the mornings, Ji-hoon insisted on exercising shirtless, sweat dripping across his abs, stitches straining. Amara would storm in, waving her thermometer like a weapon. "Are you trying to undo my hard work?" He'd grin, flexing deliberately. "Maybe I just want you to touch me again." She threatened to sedate him. At night, she sat at the desk documenting his progress while he sprawled across the bed, scrolling through his phone. Occasionally, he'd sneak glances at her, eyes soft when she wasn't looking. Tosin, ever the instigator, whispered one evening, Yuni admitted. "He's handsome." Amara scoffed. "So is a cobra before it bites you." Ji-hoon overheard and smirked. "At least you admit I'm striking." She nearly threw her pen at him. But beneath the banter, something shifted. One night, the power flickered during a thunderstorm. The mansion plunged into darkness. Amara startled when lightning cracked close, and instinctively, Ji-hoon reached out, steadying her hand. "Don't worry," he murmured. "As long as I'm here, nothing will touch you." For once, she didn't pull away. For once, she almost believed him. That night, lying awake on the couch, Amara whispered to herself, "This isn't medicine anymore. This is madness." And her heart, traitorous, reckless, agreed. The Kong suite was quiet that Saturday morning. Ji-hoon, still recovering, dozed lazily on the bed while Amara typed notes at the desk. Tosin was on the balcony, rehearsing a TikTok dance. Then Amara's phone buzzed with a WhatsApp video call. The name flashing across the screen made her freeze. "Mama Risi." "Lord have mercy," Amara muttered. She answered anyway. Her mother's face filled the screen, framed by a colorful headscarf and background noise of a Lagos marketplace. "Amara, my lion's daughter, where have you been hiding? I heard gunshots on CNN. Are you safe?" Amara glanced nervously at Ji-hoon. "Mama, I'm fine. It's nothing." Ji-hoon cracked an eye open, smirking. "Tell her the devil says hi." "Mama, don't." Amara tried, but it was too late. Ji-hoon leaned into frame, half shirtless, bandages peeking. "Hello, ma'am. Your daughter's doctoring skills are the only reason I'm alive." Mama Risi's eyes went wide. She clutched her chest. "Blood of Jesus. Amara, who is this half-naked Korean man in your room?" Tosin collapsed in laughter. Amara buried her face in her hands. "Mama, he's my patient." "Patient? Patient my foot." Mama Risi wailed. "Look at him smiling like Lucifer in human form." "Amara, don't let the Mafia spirit follow you to Nigeria, oh. I reject it in Jesus' name." She began praying loudly, hands raised. "Every bullet spirit, return to sender. Every Mafia temptation, fire of the Holy Ghost consume them." Ji-hoon, instead of being offended, laughed so hard his stitches ached. "Mafia spirit? I like her." Amara hissed, "Don't encourage her." Mama Risi narrowed her eyes at Ji-hoon. "You there, Mafia boy, do you go to church?" Ji-hoon blinked. "Temple counts." Mama Risi gasped so loudly vendors behind her shouted N. She crossed herself 3 times. "Father Lord, save my daughter from this heathen." Amara groaned, mortified. "Mama, please." But Ji-hoon leaned closer to the camera, eyes twinkling with mischief. "Don't worry, ma'am. I'll take good care of your daughter." The market around Mama Risi erupted. Women ululated, men shouted blessings, and someone in the background yelled, "Amara is marrying a Korean." Amara nearly dropped the phone. "No, Mama, no one is marrying anyone." Ji-hoon chuckled, clearly enjoying himself. "Not yet, anyway." Amara snapped the call shut before Mama Risi could faint. She turned on Ji-hoon, fuming. Do you have any idea what you've just done? He grinned. Made your mother like me. She doesn't like you. She thinks you're possessed. Ji-hoon leaned back, smug. Possessed by you, maybe. Tosin howled with laughter, recording the whole exchange for her Instagram story. That night, Amara tossed in bed replaying the chaos. Her mother's prayers, Ji-hoon's grin, the ridiculous way he made everything into a joke. And somewhere deep inside, beneath the frustration, she realized a terrifying truth. She didn't mind it as much as she should. Tosin had been restless all week. For all her playful banter and endless energy, Ji-hoon noticed the way she sighed when she thought no one was looking. One night, while Amara was busy reviewing his latest blood work, he caught Tosin sitting alone in the library, scrolling her phone with watery eyes. Ji-hoon leaned on the doorframe. What's with the long face, little sister? Tosin startled, quickly wiping her cheeks. I'm fine. Go back to annoying my sister. Ji-hoon chuckled. That's my favorite hobby. But right now, you look like someone stole your jollof rice. Despite herself, Tosin laughed. Then her voice dropped. I got accepted into a design program in Lagos. But I can't afford the tuition. Mama's still paying debts from Uni's fellowship. I didn't want to bother anyone, so, she shrugged. Forget it. Ji-hoon studied her, the usual smirk fading. Without a word, he pulled out his phone, typed a few messages, and by the time Tosin blinked, he slid a sleek envelope across the table. What's this? She whispered. Tuition, Ji-hoon said simply. Paid in full. Consider it a thank you for making this mansion less boring. Tosin's eyes widened. I can't accept. You can, he cut in, voice firm. But don't tell your sister. She'll turn it into a lecture about pride and independence. And frankly, I'm too tired to argue with her tonight. Tosin clutched the envelope, overwhelmed. Ji-hoon, thank you. He winked. Don't get sentimental. I have a reputation to maintain. The next morning, Amara walked into the library and froze. Tosin was practically glowing, humming as she sketched designs in a new notebook. Ji-hoon, lounging across from her, sipped tea innocently. Suspicion prickled. What did you do? Ji-hoon raised a brow. Me? Nothing. I've been the picture of good behavior. Tosin bit her lip, clearly hiding something. Amara narrowed her eyes. Tosin! Her sister squeaked. Nothing. Then bolted from the room, clutching her notebook like a treasure. Amara turned on Ji-hoon. Talk! He leaned back, feigning boredom. Doctor, if you keep glaring like that, your face will wrinkle early. Ji-hoon. For a second, his eyes softened. But then the smirk returned. Let's just say, sometimes devils do charity. Don't ask questions. Amara's chest tightened. She wanted to press, but the look in his eyes, half daring, half vulnerable, stopped her. Instead, she exhaled slowly. You're infuriating. He grinned. And irresistible. She rolled her eyes and turned to leave, but the truth lingered in her heart. Beneath his arrogance, Ji-hoon had a softness he tried to bury. And that softness was more dangerous than his guns, his syndicate, or even his smile. Because it made her wonder if maybe, just maybe, the devil had a heart worth saving. When Hune informed Amara she'd have to attend a high-profile gala with Ji-hoon, her first reaction was laughter. You want me to what? Hune's expression didn't budge. Appear by his side. The heir must show he's alive and recovering. And he refuses to attend without you. Amara groaned. I'm his doctor, not his date. From the staircase, Ji-hoon's voice carried smoothly. Doctor, tonight you'll be both. The gala was everything Amara despised. Glittering chandeliers, champagne towers, and silk dresses that cost more than her clinic equipment. Ji-hoon, in a tailored black tuxedo, looked every inch the untouchable heir. Amara wore a sleek emerald gown Tosin had bullied her into. As she adjusted the neckline nervously, Ji-hoon leaned close. Careful, doctor. You'll make the city fall in love with you. City can take a number, she muttered. I'm already babysitting one arrogant man. The flashing cameras nearly blinded her as they stepped into the hall. Reporters whispered, snapping photos of the unfamiliar African beauty at Ji-hoon's side. Who is she? His mistress. No, look at the way she carries herself. Not a mistress, someone important. Amara clenched her jaw, forcing a professional smile. Ji-hoon leaned toward her ear. Relax. They're only jealous. Of what? My sanity. He chuckled, guiding her to the main table. Dinner was chaos. Every time Amara tried to eat, someone asked intrusive questions. Where are you from? Nigeria. Oh, do you know Burna Boy? She nearly choked on her wine. Ji-hoon smirked, clearly enjoying her misery. Then came the real trouble. A rival syndicate leader's son approached, lips curling in a mocking smile. So this is the famous doctor who tamed the Kong devil, he sneered. She must be extraordinary in more ways than medicine. Amara stiffened. Ji-hoon's expression darkened instantly. He rose, towering over the man, voice low and deadly. Watch your mouth. The rival smirked, unbothered. What? Did I touch a nerve? Or is your doctor just another toy you'll discard? Before Amara could blink, Ji-hoon grabbed the man by the collar, yanking him close. Gasps rippled across the ballroom. She's not a toy, Ji-hoon growled. She's the reason I'm still breathing. Insult her again and you won't be. For a heartbeat. Silence. Then Han stepped in, pulling Ji-hoon back before blood could spill on the marble floor. The rival retreated, muttering curses. The reporters went wild. Back in the limousine, Amara fumed. You nearly caused a gang war in front of the press. Ji-hoon's jaw clenched, still seething. No one talks about you like that. No one. Her chest tightened at the raw protectiveness in his tone. She wanted to stay angry, but instead, heat crept up her neck. Ji-hoon, she whispered, then shook her head. You're impossible. He finally looked at her, eyes burning. Maybe. But tonight I was yours. And though Amara hated to admit it, a part of her wished he always was. The morning after the gala, Amara woke to chaos. Her phone buzzed nonstop with messages from colleagues, classmates, and distant cousins in Lagos. Headlines screamed from every Korean news outlet. Kang Ji-hoon's mystery woman, doctor or lover. Mafia heir defends Nigerian beauty at Gala. Tosin pranced around the suite, reading the articles aloud. Yuni, listen. Her poise and elegance stun Seoul's elite, see? They're calling you elegant. Amara groaned, burying her face in a pillow. They're also calling me his mistress. Ji-hoon, lounging in his robe with a coffee, smirked. Better mistress than boring. The city can't stop talking about us. She shot him a glare. This is your fault. You almost strangled a man in front of 300 reporters. Correction, he said smoothly. I almost strangled him. I didn't. That's called self-control. Amara nearly threw her slipper at him. By noon, Hune entered with grim news. The syndicate is furious. But the press, they believe you two are involved. To keep suspicion low, you'll need to play along. Amara blinked. Play along. Ji-hoon's smirk widened. Pretend we're dating. Publicly. Absolutely not, she snapped. Hune cleared his throat. Doctor, if people think you're just his physician, rivals will target you. If they think you're his lover, they'll hesitate. It's the safest cover. Amara froze. Logic warred with pride. Finally, she muttered, this is madness. Ji-hoon leaned close, whispering in her ear. Then go mad with me. She shoved him back. Their first date was a disaster. They walked through a luxury mall, cameras flashing from every angle. Ji-hoon, ever the actor, slipped his arm around Amara's waist. Smile, doctor, he murmured. You're supposed to look smitten. She plastered on the fakest grin in history. I look smitten, Tosin, trailing behind with shopping bags, giggled. Yuni, relax. Pretend he's Burna Boy. Ji-hoon grinned. Who's Burna Boy? Should I be jealous? Amara pinched his side. Yes. He actually has talent. Ji-hoon winced but kept smiling for the cameras. At a cafe stop, reporters swarmed them. One shoved a mic forward. Dr. Okafor, what's it like dating Korea's most eligible heir? Amara's mouth opened, panic rising. Before she could stammer, Ji-hoon laced his fingers through hers and answered smoothly, It's dangerous. But she's the only one brave enough to handle me. Gasps and camera flashes exploded. Amara turned crimson. Later, safe in the car, she rounded on him. Handle you? Do you ever stop lying? Ji-hoon's smirk faded into something softer. That wasn't a lie. For once, Amara had no comeback. That night, scrolling through headlines of their romance, Amara whispered to herself, This is just an act. Just an act. But the memory of Ji-hoon's warm hand in hers told a different story. Amara's phone buzzed nonstop the next morning, but this time the tone was different. Her fellowship supervisor had seen the headlines. By noon, she was summoned to the university hospital for a discussion. Ji-hoon insisted on escorting her, stitches and all. He strolled into the hospital lobby in his tailored coat, sunglasses low on his nose, making patients whisper and nurses swoon. Amara hissed at him, "You didn't have to come." "Yes, I did," he replied smoothly. "They think you're guilty by association. I'll make sure they know better." Her chest tightened, though she refused to admit it. Inside the boardroom, 3 professors sat stiffly, arms crossed. The eldest cleared his throat. "Dr. Okafor, your recent association with Kang Ji-hoon raises questions about your professionalism. Photos of you at galas and cafes, arm in arm, are circulating. Some worry this compromises your ethics." Amara bristled. "With respect, my work speaks for itself. I've never compromised patient care. My personal life is separate." "Is it?" another professor pressed. "Kang Ji-hoon is heir to the most notorious family in Seoul. Being linked to him damages our reputation." Before Amara could respond, a chair scraped. Ji-hoon rose, removing his sunglasses with deliberate slowness. His voice dropped into the room like thunder. "You speak as though she's guilty for saving my life." The professor stiffened. Ji-hoon stepped closer, his presence filling the space. "When I was bleeding out, none of you were there. She was. She put her hands in blood, risked her own safety, and stitched me back together. If you want to question integrity, question the men who shot me, not the woman who stopped me from dying." The room fell silent. Ji-hoon's gaze sharpened. "She isn't defined by me. If anything, I'm alive because of her. Without her, this conversation wouldn't exist." Amara's throat tightened. She'd never seen him like this. No smirk, no arrogance. Just sincerity, raw and unapologetic. The eldest professor coughed, clearly unsettled. "Well, Dr. Okafor's work has been exemplary. Perhaps we spoke too harshly." Ji-hoon smirked faintly, victory in his eyes. "You did." Outside, Amara stormed down the corridor, cheeks burning. "What was that?" "You practically threatened them." Ji-hoon followed, unbothered. "No, I told the truth." She whirled on him. "Why? You didn't have to defend me." His eyes softened. "Yes, I did. You think I don't notice how hard you work to be taken seriously here? How much pride you carry on your shoulders? They don't get to take that from you. Not while I'm breathing." For a moment, Amara forgot how to breathe herself. Heat rushed to her cheeks. She tried to cover it with sarcasm. "That was uncharacteristically noble of you." He grinned. "Don't tell anyone. It'll ruin my reputation." Despite herself, Amara laughed. And in that laughter, something shifted, dangerously close to affection. The confrontation at the hospital should have left Ji-hoon resting. Instead, he was in the Kang Estate's private gym the next morning, punching the heavy bag with reckless force. Sweat dripped down his temples, stitches straining with every swing. Amara stormed in, hands on hips. "Are you out of your mind?" Ji-hoon grunted, landing another blow. "Relax, doctor. Exercise clears my head. Exercise rips your stitches." She grabbed his wrist mid-swing. He hissed, pain flashing across his face, but he still tried to pull free. "I can't sit still," he muttered. "Every time I do, I remember the men who shot at you. If I'm not stronger, faster." Amara cut him off, voice fierce. "And what happens when you collapse? Who protects anyone then?" For a moment, silence hung heavy. Ji-hoon's chest heaved, his dark eyes searching hers. Slowly, his shoulders sagged. "You sound like you actually care." Amara's grip tightened. "Of course I care. You're my patient." His lips curved faintly. "Just your patient." Her throat went dry. She dropped his wrist and turned away, rummaging through her bag. "Sit. Now. Or I'll sedate you." Minutes later, Ji-hoon sat shirtless on the bench, Amara kneeling in front of him, carefully unwrapping his bandages. Her fingers brushed his skin, warm against the cool dampness of sweat. He didn't flinch. Instead, he watched her with unnerving intensity. "You have surgeon's hands," he murmured. She rolled her eyes, focusing on the wound. "You've mentioned—" "No, I mean it." "Steady." Precise. Strong. But soft, too. Her heart stuttered, but she kept her voice steady. Stop talking. You'll move. Ji-hoon chuckled, though it was softer this time. You're always telling me what not to do. Never what you want me to do. Amara tied off the fresh bandage, exhaling shakily. What I want is for you to heal. His gaze darkened. And what if what I want is you? Her hand froze on his chest. For a heartbeat, the world outside vanished. The rivals, the Mafia, the chaos. It was just the two of them, breathing the same charged air. Ji-hoon leaned closer, eyes dropping to her lips. Amara's pulse pounded. Against every instinct, she didn't move away. Ji-hoon, she whispered. Their foreheads brushed, 1 inch, 1 breath from a kiss. Then Tosin's voice rang from the doorway. Yuni, dinner's ready. Amara jumped back like burned. Ji-hoon swore under his breath, glaring at the ceiling. Tosin peeked in, oblivious, and gasped. Oh, was I interrupting? Amara grabbed her bag, face flaming. Yes, very much. Ji-hoon smirked, though frustration still burned in his eyes. Doctor, next time no interruptions. Amara fled, heart pounding so loud she swore the whole mansion could hear it. That night, lying in bed, she touched her lips with trembling fingers. Almost. Too close. Too dangerous. And yet, she knew she wouldn't stop thinking about it. The Kong mansion was unusually lively that afternoon. Han had announced a visitor, and Amara nearly dropped her stethoscope when the guest stepped inside. Chik! She gasped. Tall, broad-shouldered, with the easy grin of someone who belonged anywhere he walked, Dr. Chik Nwosu, her old colleague from Lagos. They trained together, studied together, and once upon a time, almost been something more. Amara, Chik said warmly, pulling her into a hug. Still saving reckless lives, I see. She laughed, surprised by the comfort of familiarity. And you're still too charming for your own good. Ji-hoon, standing nearby, felt his jaw tighten. At dinner, Chik regaled Tosin with stories of medical school in Lagos, the midnight cram sessions, the professors who swore by cola nuts, the cafeteria rice wars. Tosin was in stitches, wiping tears of laughter. Even Amara relaxed, cheeks glowing in a way Ji-hoon had never seen before. Ji-hoon stabbed a steak like it had personally offended him. So, Chik said casually, what's a brilliant doctor like you doing tangled with Seoul's most dangerous heir? Amara choked on her water. It's not like that. Ji-hoon smirked coldly. Not yet. Chik arched a brow. Interesting. His eyes lingered on Amara with a familiarity that set Ji-hoon's blood simmering. Later that night, Amara walked Chik to the guest wing. Ji-hoon followed silently, a storm brewing in his chest. As soon as Chik's door shut, Ji-hoon cornered Amara in the corridor. You didn't tell me you had a boyfriend in Lagos, he said flatly. Amara gaped. Boyfriend? Chik is a friend. A colleague. Nothing more. Nothing more. Ji-hoon scoffed. He looked at you like you were more. Amara crossed her arms. So what if he did? Not everyone is obsessed with control like you. His jaw clenched. I'm not obsessed with control. I'm obsessed with... He stopped, dragging a hand through his hair. With what? She pressed, heart pounding. His eyes burned into hers. With keeping what's mine safe. Her breath caught. I'm not yours, Ji-hoon. The words sliced sharper than intended. For a flicker, his expression cracked, hurt buried beneath pride. Then the mask slipped back. Fine, he said coolly. Go entertain your ghost from Lagos. But remember, doctor, he didn't save your life when bullets flew. I did. Amara's throat tightened. Before she could reply, Ji-hoon walked away, shoulders stiff. That night, she tossed in bed, torn between past comfort and present danger. Chik's laughter was safe, familiar. Ji-hoon's presence was infuriating, consuming, and impossible to ignore. As she drifted into restless sleep, one truth gnawed at her. Her heart beat faster for the devil than for the ghost. The tension in the Kong mansion was so thick, even Tosin stopped joking. For 3 days, Ji-hoon and Chik circled each other like rival lions, every polite smile carrying the promise of a fight. It all snapped one late evening. Amara had stepped out to take a call from her mother, leaving Ji-hoon and Chik alone in the study. The silence was suffocating until Chik broke it. "You're dangerous," he said simply. Ji-hoon lounged in his chair, swirling whiskey he wasn't supposed to drink. "And you're predictable." Chik's jaw tightened. "I don't know what game you're playing with Amara, but she deserves better than this, better than you. She's worked too hard to throw her future away on a Mafia heir with a death wish." Ji-hoon smirked, though his eyes glinted. "Funny. She's living under my roof, watching over me, protecting me. Doesn't look like she thinks I'm a waste." Chik leaned forward, voice low and sharp. "That's because she's too compassionate to walk away. But I know her. She loves deeply. And when she finally realizes she deserves peace, it won't be you standing beside her. It'll be someone who can give her a real future." The word sliced, but Ji-hoon refused to flinch. Instead, he set his glass down with a soft clink. "A real future?" He rose, towering over Chik. "Tell me, Doctor, where were you when bullets shattered her world in my garden? Where were you when her life was seconds from ending? Because I was there, and I'll be there every damn time." Chik bristled, fists curling. "You think violence is love? That dragging her into your blood-soaked mess is protection? She needs light, not shadows." For the first time, Ji-hoon's smirk faded. His voice dropped, raw and quiet. "You're right. I'm shadows, but she's the only light I've ever seen." The air stilled. Chik blinked, caught off guard. Before either man could say more, Amara entered, smiling faintly from her phone call, until she caught the storm in their faces. "What's going on?" Ji-hoon slipped his mask back on instantly. "Nothing. Just bonding with your friend from Lagos." Chik's jaw twitched. "Bonding, sure." Amara eyed them suspiciously but said nothing, too tired to push. As she guided Chik out of the study, Ji-hoon stood frozen, his chest tight. He hated Chik's words because they carried truth. Amara did deserve peace, light, and freedom from danger. But he also knew one thing with bone-deep certainty. He'd burn Seoul to the ground before he let anyone else claim her. That night, Ji-hoon stood alone on the balcony, city lights glittering below. His hand pressed against his bandaged side, but the wound that hurt most was deeper, one Amara had stitched into his heart without anesthesia. And for the first time, Ji-hoon wondered, what if love was a war he couldn't win? Amara couldn't ignore it anymore. The way Ji-hoon and Chik bristled like wolves, the unspoken words that clung to every silence, it was suffocating. That night, after Tosin had gone to bed and Chik had retreated to his guest room, Amara found Ji-hoon on the balcony. He leaned against the railing, cigarette unlit between his fingers, city lights flickering below like restless fireflies. "You shouldn't be out here in the cold," she said softly. He didn't turn. "You shouldn't care." Her jaw tightened. "Stop doing that." "Doing what?" His voice was low, rough. "Pretending I don't matter to you." That made him glance back, eyes narrowing. "You think you matter?" Amara stepped closer, anger mixing with something she didn't dare name. "I know I do. If I didn't, you wouldn't glare at Chik every time he breathes. You wouldn't hover whenever I step outside, and you wouldn't have nearly strangled a man at the Gala for saying my name wrong." Ji-hoon's smirk flickered, but it didn't reach his eyes. "You're imagining things." "No," she said firmly, standing toe-to-toe with him now. "I see you, Ji-hoon. Beneath all the arrogance, the Mafia heir, the devil act, you care. And it terrifies you." For a heartbeat, silence stretched. His jaw clenched, shoulders rigid, as though she'd just disarmed him in battle. Finally, he exhaled, voice barely audible. "You want the truth? Fine. You matter. Too much. And it terrifies me because everything I touch breaks." Amara's chest tightened. She reached out, hesitating before placing a hand over his bandaged side. "Not everything. You're still here, because I refuse to let you break." His eyes darkened, pulling her in like a storm. "And what if I break you instead?" Her pulse quickened, but she didn't back down. "Then maybe I'm stronger than you think." The air between them burned. Ji-hoon lifted a hand, brushing a strand of hair from her face. His touch lingered, thumb grazing her cheek. Their breaths mingled, heavy with words unsaid. "Dr. Amara," he whispered, voice rough. For one terrifying, intoxicating moment, she thought he would finally close the distance. But then footsteps. Tosin's sleepy voice echoed from the hall. "Yuni!" Ji-hoon, why are you whispering like K-drama lovers? They jerked apart instantly. Amara coughed, stepping back. Ji-hoon muttered something in Korean that sounded like a curse. Tosin peeked out, yawning. Oh, I did interrupt again. Sorry, carry on. She shuffled away. Ji-hoon pinched the bridge of his nose. Your sister is going to kill me before the bullets do. Amara laughed softly, though her heart pounded. You deserve it. As she walked away, Ji-hoon whispered to the night. You're already killing me. It started with silence. Amara had gone to the clinic for supplies, insisting she didn't need an escort. I'm not a porcelain doll, she told Ji-hoon. I can handle myself. But when evening fell and she didn't return, dread wrapped around Ji-hoon's chest like a vice. Han's call confirmed it. Boss, she's gone. Her car was found abandoned near Mapo Bridge. The Hanseong syndicate left a message. Ji-hoon's blood boiled. He snatched the note from Han's hand. Scrawled in red ink. If you want your doctor back, come alone. Ji-hoon's fist clenched so hard the paper tore. They think I'll trade her like a pawn. His voice shook with fury. They think wrong. Meanwhile, Amara woke to darkness. A damp room, ropes biting into her wrists. She struggled, heart racing, but the sound of footsteps froze her. A man stepped into the dim light, one of Ji-hoon's rivals, eyes gleaming with malice. So this is the famous African doctor, he sneered. The woman who stitched the devil back together. Let's see how he survives without you. Amara forced her voice steady. If you kill me, he'll burn the city down. The man smirked. That's the point. Her stomach twisted, but she refused to show fear. You don't scare me. I grew up in Lagos traffic. This is nothing. The man chuckled darkly. We'll see how long that courage lasts. Back at the mansion, Ji-hoon prepared. Against Han's protests, he strapped on a holster, grim determination etched into his face. Boss, they want you alone. It's a trap. Ji-hoon's eyes blazed. Everything in my life has been a trap. But this time, I'm not playing their game. I'm ending it. He paused, gripping Han's shoulder. If I don't come back, protect her sister. Han bowed, voice thick. Bring her home. The warehouse stank of oil and rust. Ji-hoon stepped inside, footsteps echoing. His enemies emerged from the shadows, armed and grinning. And in the center, tied to a chair, was Amara. Her eyes widened. Ji-hoon, no! He smirked, though his heart thundered. Doctor, didn't I tell you to stay close? You're a terrible listener. Her eyes burned with tears and fury. You idiot! This is a trap. Shoo? He raised a gun, cold and steady. I know. The rival leader sneered. You came. Brave. Stupid. Ji-hoon's smirk vanished. His voice was lethal. No. You made the mistake of touching what's mine. Gunfire erupted. Through the chaos, Amara's scream cut the air. Ji-hoon fought like a storm unleashed. Every punch, every shot fueled not by pride, but by the raw, desperate need to get to her. And when the smoke cleared, when his enemies lay scattered, Ji-hoon collapsed to his knees before Amara, cutting her free with trembling hands. Are you hurt? He rasped. Her wrists were raw, her face pale, but her eyes shone with fire. You came for me. He pulled her into his arms, voice breaking. Always. The Kong mansion had never been quieter. After the rescue, Han's men swept the city, but Ji-hoon refused to leave Amara's side. She sat on the couch wrapped in a blanket, her wrists bandaged, eyes distant. Ji-hoon crouched before her, searching her face. Doctor, talk to me. She looked at him, lips trembling. Do you have any idea how terrified I was? Not for me, for you. They could have killed you. He smirked faintly, though his voice was hoarse. Please. I've stared death in the face 100 times. This was different, she snapped, eyes glistening. You walked into fire for me. Why? Why risk everything? His smirk faded. For once, there was no shield, no arrogance, just honesty. Because I couldn't breathe knowing you were out there, hurt, scared. Because if anything happened to you, it wouldn't matter if I survived. I'd already be dead. Her heart clenched. Silence stretched, broken only by the soft hum of the fireplace. You can't keep doing this, she whispered, throwing yourself into danger like your life doesn't matter. It doesn't, he said quietly. Not without you. Her breath caught. Ji-hoon. He reached out, brushing a tear from her cheek with trembling fingers. I told you once, you stitched my body back together. But somewhere along the line, you stitched my heart too. And now it belongs to you, whether you want it or not. Tears spilled freely down her face. She wanted to argue, to remind him of the chaos, the danger, the blood on his hands. But all she saw was the man who had thrown himself into gunfire for her. The man who teased her, infuriated her, protected her, and made her laugh when she thought she couldn't. Her hand rose, covering his. "You idiot!" she whispered, voice breaking. "How can you say something like that and expect me not to fall apart?" His lips curved, soft and unguarded. "Then fall. I'll catch you." Their foreheads pressed together, breaths mingling, hearts racing in sync. The world outside, the Mafia wars, the headlines, the shadows, faded until it was just them. Amara closed her eyes, whispering the truth she'd fought so hard to deny. "I care for you, Ji-hoon. More than I should. More than makes sense." His breath shuddered against her skin. "Say it again." She smiled through her tears. "I care for you." Ji-hoon pulled her into his arms, holding her as if the world would end without her warmth against him. And for the first time in years, the devil felt human, fragile, alive, saved. That night, as Amara drifted into exhausted sleep in his arms, Ji-hoon stayed awake, vowing silently to himself, "No one will touch her again. Not enemies. Not fate. Not even me." Because for the first time, he wasn't just fighting for power. He was fighting for love. The days after Amara's kidnapping blurred into restless nights and whispered promises. Ji-hoon barely left her side, though his empire demanded attention. The Kong syndicate was at a crossroads, retaliate or reform. For the first time in his life, Ji-hoon hesitated. One evening, Amara found him alone in the study, papers spread before him. Maps, ledgers, dossiers. His head was bowed, his hand tight around a pen. "You look like a man carrying the world," she said softly. He looked up, exhaustion etched into his features. "Maybe I am." She stepped closer, laying a hand on his shoulder. "You don't have to." He studied her, eyes dark and conflicted. "If I walk away, rivals will see weakness. My family's empire could crumble. But if I stay," he trailed off, voice low, "I drag you deeper into this hell." Amara's heart ached. "Ji-hoon, I didn't fall for a title or a reputation. I fell for the man who fought to protect me, who made me laugh even when I wanted to scream, who let me see his scars." His throat tightened. "You fell for the devil." She shook her head firmly. "No, I fell for the man trying to become more." For a long moment, silence stretched between them. Then Ji-hoon exhaled, decision solidifying in his gaze. He swept the papers into a drawer, locking them away. "I'm done." Amara blinked. "Done. I'll rebuild clean. No more blood, no more shadows. If they call me weak, let them. I'd rather be weak with you than powerful without you." Her eyes filled with tears. "Ji-hoon!" He pulled her close, pressing his forehead to hers. "Stay with me, Amara. Not as my doctor, as my future." Her smile trembled through the tears. "You'll still need a doctor." "You're reckless." He chuckled, brushing his lips against her temple. "Then I'm lucky the best one already loves me." Weeks later, headlines told a different story. Kong heir announces syndicate reforms, legitimate business expansion ahead. Mysterious Nigerian doctor at his side. Seoul's new power couple. The press still speculated, still whispered. But Amara didn't care. What mattered was the way Ji-hoon's hand never left hers, the way he smiled like a man finally free. At the airport one evening, Tosin filmed their departure for a short getaway. "Yinny, wave to Nigeria. Mama Risi says if you don't bring Ji-hoon home, she'll fast for 40 days. Amara laughed, tugging Ji-hoon forward. "Don't tempt her. She'll do it." Ji-hoon smirked, slipping an arm around Amara's waist. "If it means meeting the woman who prayed away my Mafia spirit, I'm ready." Amara looked up at him, heart soaring. "Are you really?" His smile softened, unguarded. "For you. Always." And as they stepped onto the plane, hand in hand, Amara knew the truth. The devil hadn't just been saved. He had chosen love over power. And for once, that was enough. Thank you so much for staying with us till the very end of the story. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and leave a comment. We would like to know where you are watching from below. We'd also love to hear the lessons you learned and your thoughts on how we can continue improving to give you the very best. Here at Munlyt Stories, every tale is crafted with passion, care, and dedication. Our mission is simple: to entertain, inspire, and connect us all across cultures and hearts. So, keep the conversation alive in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Till next time, we are Munlyt Stories, bringing you amazing tales that touch hearts and spark imaginations. Stay blessed, stay inspired. See you in the next story.